Myron Gaines has built his entire online persona around the idea of being untouchable. He positions himself as the embodiment of the red pill philosophy.
Funny, like, we still grind on YouTube while not getting paid on there, while these niggas lie to put videos out and still don't grind on YouTube.
Yeah.
I need you guys to understand this real quick. How is it that we have more content than them, right? Every day, more consistent, and we don't get paid on YouTube, but they do. And we still work harder than them. I mean, look at Abba. He's a lazy, real talk. No collabs, does just his own channel, no podcast, no nothing. They tried a podcast, failed, they gave up. They're lazy. He's fat,
comedy
sloppy, comedy tour cooked, failed. He's just a lazy in general. Like, look at him. Dude releases one video a week. That's like 10 minutes. That's heavily edited. Can't go live. Can't do nothing. Can't comment. Can't do anything except for give commentary and other than better than him.
They're probably watching right now.
He's a fun at the end of the day. There's a reason why he'll never sit across and have a discussion with me ever in his life.
He's scared.
This is live.
He's scared. He's very scared.
I'd embarrass him.
Yeah, he can't edit videos now.
Yeah, yeah, bro. Like, bro, your editor should be the one getting the money, bro. Like, that's the guy that does everything, because you're not really a smart guy. You're not a smart guy. You're not entertaining. Your editor makes the shit funny and entertaining for you. But the reality is like, bro, you're not relevant. You guys are not interesting, and you guys have to talk about other people to get views.
And he gets pegged.
Yeah, and you get pegged. So that's the biggest L. Making 70 plus videos on us, bro. It's crazy how much, like, you guys, like, you are our sons, bro. Just broadcast everywhere, but like, just like, keep that in mind, guys. Like, we're not even getting paid on YouTube, and we are more consistent and post more than they do on YouTube. They're lazy, bro. Like,
we show up each and every day.
And I'm not surprised, because, like, Abba's fat anyway, sloppy, disheveled, always looks like
Get a haircut. Get a haircut, bro.
Yeah, like, bro.
Shave.
Yeah, like, sloppy and disgusting.
For your
like,
own benefit.
Like, at this point, bro, like, nobody wakes up and says, oh, I want to be like Abba. Like, bro, you are not, like, nobody wakes up and says, damn, I want to be like this. No, let me give my lukewarm, centrist political takes on certain topics that are more popular than me. You guys supposed to have integrity. I haven't seen you guys talk about, aren't you Somalian, Eritrean, something like that? I haven't heard you talk about your country getting destroyed with the Civil War. I haven't seen you talk about any of that stuff, right? You come from that part. Well, I haven't seen you talk about it not one time. You DJ Khaled, nigga, you silent. You don't talk about nothing real. Just gossip. You're a woman. And that's the God honest truth. If I ever decided to leave YouTube, your income would go down by 30% easily. You're my friend, and there's a reason why you will never, ever talk to me in person. And you know that's my downfall every day. But the reality is you need me, my friend. Your mother needs me. Your family needs me. Because everyone that you support is off my hard work. So you need me to stay as relevant as possible, because you're not. So when you get your AdSense revenue, say shukran, because I've got you that money. And don't worry, I work hard, so you'll continue to get that money and you'll have something to talk about.
Disciplined, rational, focused on self-improvement, and unshaken by the chaos of modern dating. Yet, the moment his relationship collapsed in public, that image cracked. His girlfriend from Venezuela was caught out with another man in Miami, and the story quickly spread across the internet. For most, it was a moment of humiliation that would demand silence. But for Myron, it became an opportunity. Instead of retreating, he leaned into the drama by launching an extended verbal assault on two of his biggest critics, ABA and Preach. The Fresh and Fit versus ABA and Preach saga has been one of the longest-running feuds in the manosphere. It has always been framed as a clash of ideologies, but at its core, it is just as much about ego. Myron sees himself as a grinder, someone who works harder than anyone else in the space, someone who never stops producing. When ABA and Preach mocked the public collapse of his relationship, Myron turned that ridicule into fuel. He positioned their commentary as proof of their irrelevance, claiming that their entire business model depends on talking about him. This was more than just a defensive rant. Myron's strategy was to reframe weakness as strength. By pointing to his relentless consistency, he tried to flip the conversation away from his personal life and back onto his work ethic. He hammered home the idea that, even without monetization, he produces more content than his rivals. The claim is simple. While they sit back, drop heavily edited 10-minute videos, and collect easy checks, he's on the front lines putting in the hours. By his measure, he's the one living the lifestyle he preaches, relentless discipline in the face of adversity. The insults flew quickly. ABA and Preach were called lazy, sloppy, and irrelevant. Myron mocked their appearance, their supposed lack of ambition, and even their personal hygiene. These kinds of jabs weren't accidental. In the red pill universe, image matters as much as argument. By portraying his rivals as unkempt and uninspiring, he implicitly reinforced the idea that he himself is the archetype men should aspire to emulate. If no one wakes up in the morning wanting to be like ABA, Myron suggests, then the debate is already settled. At the same time, Myron targeted their content style. He dismissed them as gossip merchants who rely on drama to stay afloat, claiming that their editor is the real brains behind their operation. This is a particularly cutting attack in the YouTube ecosystem, where authenticity is currency. By suggesting that ABA and Preach are essentially puppets of post-production, Myron tried to undercut their credibility. The implication is that without editing tricks and carefully curated segments, they would have nothing of substance to offer. But beneath the bravado lies a contradiction that Myron's critics are quick to point out. If ABA and Preach are irrelevant, why spend so much time addressing them? If their commentary is meaningless, why let it dictate entire rants on his own platform? The answer is obvious. Relevance in the YouTube ecosystem is a two-way street. By acknowledging his rivals, Myron feeds the very cycle he claims to resent. Their criticisms bring him attention, his responses bring them attention, and the feud sustains itself indefinitely. Another angle Myron leaned on was dependency. He framed ABA and Preach as parasites feeding off his work, going as far as to say that their revenue depends on him continuing to exist. This is an aggressive inversion of the dynamic. Instead of acknowledging that their commentary hurts him, he argues that he is the one propping them up. According to Myron, every video they make about Fresh and Fit is proof that they need him, not the other way around. It's a way of transforming embarrassment into power. If people are laughing at his breakup, then at least they're still talking about him. This reframing tactic is classic in the manosphere. When faced with ridicule, the red pill response is not to deny weakness, but to reinterpret it as strength. A failed relationship becomes proof of high standards. Public humiliation becomes proof of resilience. Enemies become proof of relevance. For Myron, everything feeds into the same narrative. He works harder, he is more consistent, and his critics only exist because he allows them to. Yet, when examined more closely, many of his arguments show cracks. The claim that quantity of content equals superiority ignores the reality of YouTube's changing ecosystem. 10-minute edited videos can have more impact than dozens of live streams if they are crafted to go viral. Dismissing edited content as lazy overlooks the skill and strategy involved in creating it. Similarly, mocking ABA and Preach for gossip while dedicating entire segments to insulting them exposes the very hypocrisy Ish once accused Joe Budden of on his own show, criticizing someone for a behavior you're actively engaging in. There's also the deeper issue of personal accountability. Myron insists that his breakup is irrelevant compared to his grind, but for a man who sells himself as a relationship authority, the optics are disastrous. His critics don't need to exaggerate anything because the contradiction is self-evident. The man teaching men how to navigate women was publicly dumped. Instead of addressing that vulnerability with humility, Myron buried it under attacks on his rivals. While that may preserve his online persona in the short term, it risks eroding trust in the long term. What this feud ultimately reveals is the fragility of online masculinity. For Myron, the breakup could not remain a personal matter. It had to be weaponized into content. For ABA and Preach, the story was too good to ignore because it exposed the very contradictions they've long accused him of. The result is an endless loop of attack and counterattack, with each side convinced they are exposing the other's weakness. But the irony is that both depend on the feud to stay relevant. Myron is right when he says their videos on him perform well, but he is blind to the fact that his rants on them serve the same function. The Fresh and Fit brand thrives on conflict. It needs villains and critics to keep its audience engaged. ABA and Preach, whether intentionally or not, play that role perfectly. Every insult Myron throws only deepens the rivalry, ensuring that both sides benefit from the attention. The question is not who wins in the short term, but who can sustain their persona when the drama eventually fades. Myron's response to his breakup shows both his strength and his weakness. His strength is resilience, the ability to keep producing, to keep grinding, to keep reframing even the most humiliating setbacks into narratives of dominance. His weakness is transparency. The cracks in his philosophy become glaring when his personal life contradicts his teachings. The audience may laugh at his expense today, but tomorrow they'll tune in again, waiting to see how he spins the next crisis.